Things the weird kid did at school. According to Reddit, number 23. This one kid wore a cheap button-down collar shirt to school every day, and he would only ever button the top button and let the shirt billow around him when he walked. That sounds kind of like how some Hispanic dudes used to wear their shirts. Well, he stated that he was convinced that by doing this every day, it would catch on and he'd start a trend and become popular at school. He was forever alone on that hill. Sometimes you gotta be popular first and then try to be the trendsetter. You can't be the trendsetter hoping that your thing will become popular. Or you could just be weird, and over time, with confidence, maybe that shit'll catch on. I remember I was wearing water moccasins to school, which are kind of like let me see if I can Google that. Water moccasin shoe or footwear. I used to wear these like weird water moccasins to school because I was a son of a bitch. They look pretty much like this, and there's probably another name for them. Water shoes. They pretty much look like that, though, you know? And over time, some other people started wearing them, which was crazy. And particularly pissed off a few women that I remember being pretty vocal about it to them. Like, why the fuck would you? You know what I mean? It's pretty stupid. But, boy, school is funny like that. Remember, everybody's just a blank slate, and if you're the type that I guess plays by your own rules, then you're not particularly susceptible to certain pressures. But most kids are watching, you know, shit. They looking at shit on TikTok. They're looking at back in the day they were looking at the Disney Channel and all kind of stuff, and that was like, yes, this is going to be my style. Yes, my style. Fuck me. Hello to True Silver Wolf, Linda, Lone Bit, Tisson, or Tison, I'm not sure. True Silver, Matthew, Castle, Red Sun, and Homeless. Here's hoping that you all had a fantastic day that's only going to get better. With the inclusion of a Kyle list in your day, good God, number 22, the weird kid in my school, who also was a friend of mine, had really bad dry scalp during the winter months. He would vigorously rub his hair to get some relief from the itchiness, and in the process would end up with lots of dead skin on his desk. Ew, bro. He was making it rain. He was seasoning his desk by scratching his head. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. One girl looked over as he was doing this and loudly said, ew, and he wanted to make a statement. So he gathered up all the dead skin in a line and snorted it like it was a line of cocaine. He was kicked out of class. That is asserting dominance, bro. But snorting up your dead skin flakes from your fucking head, your dandruffy, as if it's a line of coke, bro. Listen, you know the scary part about men? Is spontaneously, at the drop of a hat, we can concoct a thing to do that will traumatize women, traumatize other people, without even trying. Not even trying. They didn't think about that. That was an on-the-fly, spontaneous decision for them to go. And now, well, let me pull out this credit card. Let me just get this in a line here. What are you doing? What are you gonna do with that hair? Please, God, no. Look at this. Remember this. She's gonna be telling this story, or he is going to be telling this story for the rest of their life because that's what happened. Okay. Sasuke says, smelling napkins until someone asks what I'm doing. Are you trying to get noticed smelling the napkins, though, or are you just... And what is that, brand new napkins? You want to know the last thing I smelled? Like, you know, why are you doing that? Smelled it. I got Mario Kart, thanks to YNK and his explosive, incredible generosity. and I intend to play that with Dia soon, so watch out for that. But I kind of, I ran my finger, like my nail, along the edge of the packaging, and when the seal was broken, I took a good smell. That new game smell. Yeah, how about that? That's probably the dorkiest thing I'm gonna admit all stream. Number 21. I dated the weird kid in high school, and even a few years after, and the weirdest thing that he did was try to date his cousin. He tried to do this while we were together. Really puts in perspective who you're dealing with, huh, ladies? He also ate grass, and him and his friend would talk about the flesh planet. I hated my life black. God damn it. That was a weird slip. But was it Freudian? I hated my life black then? Maybe I was trying to enhance this story by blacking up that person's past, you know what I mean? Gotta black it up to make it more gangster. Oh, damn. You don't eat the grass, you smoke the grass, as we continue along this list. Unbelievable. Number 20. Okay, so I had a kid at my high school, not particularly bad, but just annoyed the everything out of me. Because I was the only one that was nice to him, he would follow me around everywhere, a real Ralph Wiggum situation. And he would randomly grab me for no reason. He would hug me and not give me any personal space. It sounded like I said Stace. Whatever. But here comes the worst part. We have a school swimming lesson, and you could either get changed in the changing rooms or the bathroom shower. And since I'm shy, I would always use the shower to get changed. Figures this dude would follow me in there. Oh no. Got dressed outside my door, and just when I was leaving my cubicle, he was just there, dancing naked. I died inside that day. Surely this is indecent exposure. When you're a kid, everything's cute, everything's fine. The what's the word? The adult names, the charge, like the criminal charge names don't apply to your actions. But yeah, no, when you clock past whatever the legal adult age is where you live, bro, shit, them criminal names gonna start kicking in. So indecent exposure, it's not gonna be a boys will be boys situation then, son. I better be careful dancing with your ding-a-ling out. Okay, dance in your underwear, even that's fine. Okay, do not let it be said that you followed a girl to a secluded location. It's gonna sound real weird when they use the right words.
He followed me to a secluded area, and I believed I was safe. I went away because I was shy and didn't want people to see my naked form. But I'm guessing that's what he desired as he followed me. And then he danced and he exposed his penis. I had never seen a penis before, you see. I'm such a young girl.
Wait a minute. Okay, stop. Okay. As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 19. Said something, or said absolutely nothing, to anyone besides I like cows for about a month. You really trying to be the I like cows kid, huh? Anything that you said to him, regardless of the context or situation, the response would be, I like cows. A good way to get him to start saying something more would be to just pretend to be offended. How come there was no real women at school? You want to know why Kyle is so quick, so fast, as far as wit is concerned? It's because I've been surrounded by nothing but bitches as far as women are concerned. And if somebody ever said I like cows and they weren't saying anything else, some chick would take it upon herself to make a scene and be like,
are you implying that fat women should be referred to as cows and that you like them? Even if you are into them, referring to them as a cow is degrading and disgusting. Despicable behavior for a man. And this is the typical kind of bullshit that you want to just pass off as a norm. In our society, you are the reason that we are so awful.
And he'd be like, no. And then the girl would be like, huh,
looks like you're saying more. I fucking got you, bitch.
And then she'd dance, but it'd be more like a prancing dance, a leprechaun dance almost like a victory taunt, after you tried to capture him but couldn't. We've all been there. We've all been there. Number 18. All right.
I honestly wonder if I am on this list. Nowhere near as bad as number 20 though.
Lone Bit, I appreciate that donation. You're a hardcore motherfucker. You're a bad motherfucker. Damn, baby. But odds are, Lone Bit, you're probably not on this list because all of the people that you have tainted and traumatized with your actions are probably rocking in the corner of a room somewhere. 100%. Number 18. You know, the list is endless, but one incident that sticks out in my mind is a boy who is getting told off by the teacher, and instead of taking it on the chin, I'd rather girls take it on the chest, he decided to jump on the table and shout, "I'm out of here!"
Glad to be able to hear your voice. When the days get dark and hopelessness plagues me. Mind your insightfulness, humor, commentary, and ridiculous outbursts remind me that there are beautiful things in the world that are worth staying for. Thanks, Sile.
That's a beautiful and kind comment, and I appreciate you for it more than you know. Thank you for extending it, but I almost don't feel I don't feel worthy of it. Glad to be able to hear your voice when the days get dark and hopeless. When hopelessness plagues my mind, and in your insightfulness, humor, commentary, and ridiculous outbursts remind me that there are beautiful things in the world that are worth staying for. I feel like in this instance, I am your plastic bag floating in the wind, you know? And you look at it and people would just see a plastic bag, but not you. Not you. You know, the beauty in the world is outstanding, profound, incredible. And I just want to thank you for helping to contribute to this. Okay.
Tree fitty, please.
What's tree fitting?
$3.50.
Tree fitting. Tree fitting.
Well, damn. Thank you. Appreciate that. You know, you got to appreciate all the beauty in the world, even the people who don't know that the E doesn't come before the A in the Kyle. Damn. It's like a riddle. This name is like a conundrum. Wait a minute, how do you spell it? Fuck me, fuck my monkey balls. All right, hold on. I love you. Thank you to the True Silver. You know, I'm gonna turn you guys into gold though. True Silver Gold. Don't change your name. I'm just being an idiot. Okay, I love you. Enough people change their names. I can't remember who's who. You know, I got a real memory problem. You know what I mean? Let's just continue the list. I love you. Thank you again. You know, Lesnar Crep. That seems like the type of name that's probably backwards. So how is it blackwards? What's wrong with you tonight, bro? That is not something I'm deliberately doing. I think you guys know that I'm usually going a mile a minute to try to stay ahead of my brain, and that's why I can make myself laugh so hard. But I don't know where the blackness is coming from. I just woke up and it's like, listen, I'm taking it black to the old days. What the fuck? Anyway, Lesnar Crep backwards would probably be Perkrenzel? That sounds like a fucking magic spell. Hey, here's a little bit of trivia for my room. I have a shelf behind me that's supposed to liven up when I get on camera, but when I do get on camera, I usually just scrunch it into my face because when I watch people, I hate that their camera takes up so much real estate. Not that there's much to see here, I'm usually just reading things, but I don't want to be one of those people who has a camera taking up too much real estate, so I usually scrunch it in, but then it kind of invalidates the whole shelf that's behind me for the reason of being sexy. But long story short, I keep a Harry Potter book on that shelf that Dia got me for a birthday, next to a bunch of Lord of the Rings books that Dia also got me. And the Harry Potter book is the only book that constantly flies off the shelf. And I'm not joking, it's not like a slide off the shelf or like a, you know, maybe I'm rocking around and I shift the thing back there and then it kind of flops over. That motherfucker flies off the shelf. Believe what you will, man. You know what I mean? But every time it happens, I think it's happened with Dia here and I go to her, that's the wrong book to be doing that, man. You know what I'm talking about? A book flying off the shelf? I just don't understand. As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 17. There was a kid who used to eat erasers and growl at the other kids. We're going to see a lot of dominance assertion here, aren't we? I'm not sure how I was asserting dominance other than going,
Listen, I'll squeeze all them titties.
holy shit, I just remembered something. Bad, and I've told that story in the past. And I'm so lucky that the girl that I was messing with was, I don't want to say a good sport, but she just tolerated my bullshit. Because when you're a young little bastard, holy shit, man. I was the really wild little band kid motherfucker. I was a bad motherfucker, I guess. Shit. That was wonderful. And it's not the way to greet someone, and I'm not even going to repeat it, but maybe Linda remembers. Linda remembers everything. Number 16. The weird kid in my class or school once asked me to play spies with him. Knowing that he didn't play with many people, I said yes. He took me on a mission around the school before coming to a stop in front of bushes, pulling his pants all the way down, and then started peeing in the bushes. At this point, I was out. Well, at least he wasn't necessarily exposing himself to her or him. He just wanted to pull his thing out and take care of business. I completely get it, I guess, in a way. There's a lot of exposure here, but I guess that's the way of existence when you're human, you know? It's crazy that when we're younger, it's like a natural inclination. It's almost as if it's what we naturally want to do. What song am I thinking of that goes dun 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 do 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 do. Wait a minute, didn't I bookmark that song recently? That's the Rhythm of the Night. Son of a bitch. Of course it's the Rhythm of the freaking night.
And all of the madness.
You better stop. Every freaking time. That was like 2 days ago. Oh shit! I didn't stream in like a day. I should be making makeup lists. You guys deserve it. Let's continue. You know. As we continue to number 15, hopefully there's no urination and bushes and exposure. That's a triple whammy. You know what I mean? It's one thing if you're pulling stuff out, you know, in the genitalia department. You know, some people say that genitalia is made to be pulled. What was my initial point? That it's crazy that when we're younger, we're constantly trying to expose ourselves. It's almost as if it's a natural inclination, and only when we grow and learn restraint do we want to keep our clothes on. When we learn that hot shame that the religious people would believe we absorbed in the Garden of Eden after obtaining and ingesting the tree's fruit of knowledge. Sometimes we just kicking it in a garden, too dumb, don't know what the hell's going on, but then that apple come, and we're like, wait a minute, we shouldn't eat this motherfucker. I remember somebody telling me exclusively not to eat this motherfucking apple, son, and the snake comes up and he's like, but I know this dude named Slytherin, and he said, that's the man trying to keep y'all down, trying to tell y'all not to eat that apple. I bet if you ate that apple, y'all would know some things. And in the end, the snake was not lying. If they did eat that apple, they would know some things. They would know some things. So they ate the apple, son. Son, they ate this apple. They told them to stay away from this tree, not to eat the fruit thereof. But it didn't matter, you know? And honestly, the female wanted to eat the apple more.
Why you gonna let him tell you what you not supposed to do? That's why you ain't going nowhere and you ain't doing nothing, Adam. You need to be making your own decisions, sir. Oh my God, I need to find me a man that's gonna be making his own decisions.
And the snake was like, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. Eat the apple, son. I don't even like apple, man. There's a mango tree right over there.
Oh my God. Oh, you want to have it because they said that that's okay. You need to be going for what they tell you is not okay. Listen to me and eat this apple.
Are you done with this biblical recreation? They ate that apple, they got that knowledge, and they was like, oh my God, we're fucking naked, bro. What the fuck? We better put some clothes on.
But if we put this clothes on, he gonna know. He gonna know that we naked. We gotta stay and act like we don't know.
Why are y'all covering yourselves?
Oh, no reason, Lord. Fuck. He knows. We gotta get out of here.
Banished. Fuck y'all niggas. I told y'all not to do this shit. Damn. That's what the Lord sounds like. Damn, bitch. Number 15. That must have just been gibberish to somebody unfamiliar with the beginning of the Bible. That must have just been confusing. Number 15. He didn't say much. Damn.
Not gonna lie, I was one of them. I used to eat fire ants.
A lot of kids eat mud. So, I'm sure at some point, something ends up in there. Listen, I'm not trying to downplay the weirdness of eating insects. No. Okay? But, statistically, you're going to bed, you're eating a certain amount of spiders a year, whether or not you feel like you're eating them or not. A lot of kids are playing in the mud, eating dirt, you know, stuff like that at some point. When you're a little baby, you're testing the structure and consistency of the world by putting everything in your mouth, bro. It's not sexual, it's not gross, it's not weird. It's just a phase we all go through, man. And to be honest, we're all lucky that we didn't end up borderline, you know, with a condition or like a fixation on putting things in our mouth, you know? Even though that might work out for some men who are really wanting that in the women that they are with. Just being real. Just being real. Damn. Okay? Damn. Number 15. The dudes didn't say much, but if asked, he would go to the front of the class and perform Tiptoe. You are so dyslexic. He would perform Tiptoe through the tulips. I'm pretty sure this is that song, and I think you've heard it if you're familiar with SpongeBob. I'm not sure if it's in SpongeBob. It may be another song. But this is the one song that goes, I'm so happy, by Tiny Tim.
Whatever he did with this song.
Go.
Oh, tiptoe through the window, by the window, that is where all...
I don't think this is the I'm So Happy song. This is another song by Tiny Tim. I can't overstate how, you know, black dude coming at you saying this, but I give this dude so much props because, yo, y'all have no idea what it was like when a mob or a group or the majority would clown on somebody back in the day, because you think some people on the internet are savage. That's not real bullying, dude. Real life mob bullying is something you can't fucking imagine. And this dude, his entire legacy would have just been that he was weird. You see, like, the Joker, the movie with Jesus Christ, Joaquin Phoenix, and how they invited this nigga on the televised program, you know, like the Tonight Show type deal, exclusively to mock him, because he wasn't just, you know, technically a clown, like figuratively he is a clown onto them, and they call him out there to have a joke at his expense. It's kind of like looking at a YouTube video where somebody makes a fool of himself, but now they call him out there to do it live. The only reason they even rolled the cameras for this dude. Damn.
And paper.
Scrotus Maximus. Thank you. Why does he say and paper? Meaning the donation itself? I appreciate you, Scrotus. Or are you saying that you were eating paper? That's something that I can't, you know. I used to eat fire ants and paper. You know, I could defend the ants, not defend, so to speak, but rationalize. You know, I guess it's no different than another thing we're all putting in our mouth. But what you mean you're eating paper, bro? Let's take it down a notch, all right? You are weird. You win. Is that what you're looking for? You win. Eating paper. Come on, man. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about Tiny Tim is just to say this dude was almost certainly relentlessly bullied for just being who he is, being weird, being different, being strange, bringing this, you know, this very Bro, to be honest, I'm gonna say it like this. As a vocalist, if the person who was willing to perform Tiptoe to the, you said it again. That may be a thing for you. The person that was willing to perform Tiptoe through the Tulips, if they could really make that vibrato happen, if it was a very good performance, then bro, more power to him. It's not an easy thing to do. A lot of people want to kind of roast shit and like tease shit, but that's not something that most people could probably, without practice, even convey, you know, in any convincing capacity. You'd have to really take a moment, maybe even record yourself, and then see what you need to change, what you need to enhance. So if somebody could do this with all the emotion and volume of Tiny Tim, you know what I mean? Holy shit. Oh, Seraphin Bear says, I'm thinking of A Wonderful Time. I'm so happy. Yeah. Having a wonderful time. That's the song I'm thinking of. But Tiptoe Through the Tulips, almost did it again, is the one in question. And I think that's a very fun thing that they found out. We are meant to probably believe that he offered initially at some point, because to just say, oh, he didn't say much, but if you would ask him, he would perform this song. What do you mean if you'd ask him? Like one day somebody was just like, hey, you don't talk, man. You don't talk. Come on, man. Talk. Listen. Sing Tiptoe Through the Tulips. And he was like, all right, I got you. Out of nowhere, please. Hey, why don't you talk? Why don't you talk, man? Man, you don't like talking, huh? Recite the whole B-movie script. I got you. Out of nowhere, you just make a random request and he's like, understood, son. Watch me go. To the front of the class and do this. Number 14. There are two people that come to mind. It's just so happening. Can you do that again? It just so happens that they were also good friends with each other. The first one I remember chasing girls around the school with his penis out. Come on now. That's the full story. There it is, you know? Indecent exposure you're getting away with because you're under that age. Oh no. The second guy joined our... Isn't it wildly transparent? You know, just like, it's as simple as that. Bam. So there's one dude I knew used to chase girls with his dick out. Wow. When we were preteens. I mean... I don't want to say anything ridiculous because I don't want it to imply that this kind of behavior is okay for anybody at any age, you know? But he was really shooting his shot, huh? He was going to get a lot of misses, but one day, the one that he caught was going to be like,
Wow, now that is confidence. It's not even that big, and I'm not even into it, but you know what? I admire and respect what you got going on, so...
You shouldn't have made that noise. So the second guy joined our class when we were in our early teens, and the two became best friends. Oh, the first dude comes back into it. One time the teacher said something along the lines of, the back table out, because they were annoying her. These two fuckers decided to open the window and throw the table out. Damn. You have to wonder if there was much communication, or if it was just like immediately coordinated, no communication necessary, no interaction. They were sitting at the table and this woman said, back table out. And then they were like just in unison, like fucking anime characters. She wants the table out, she's gonna get it out. Open the window. Oh, what the fuck? You said you wanted the table out, bitch. We are just giving you what you want. You asked for something and we have made it happen. Well, maybe you should have specified, bitch. Well, maybe you should have specified. What you gonna do? Send us to the principal's office? You know he's a man, right? And we will tell him that we were fulfilling the obligation set in front of us. Damn. You should be giving us an A. They just threw that table out the window. I like this story. I really do. Wow. Is this an upvote that I'm giving it? Wow. The select Kyle upvote. It's not something that you often see, but I appreciate this tale as we continue up this list. Number 13. We didn't really have weird kids at my school. I brought a live chicken to show and tell and wore a clown wig for a week once. Oh yeah, and I had my own sign language that I used to curse people. So nobody else knew. It's just like you that are in the know as it pertains to the sign language that you made up. The fun thing about sign language is it existed before you people. So even though you can go home and make up a language and just think it's significant to you and that nobody else knows it, it'll probably be close enough to something to sound offensive to most people, just like the sign language could mean something else. Yeah. But when you're a kid, boy, the world really doesn't exist outside of your bubble. That's pretty crazy. Clown wig notwithstanding, not that big a deal. Bringing a chicken to show and tell, that's the point. You need to bring something gangster for show and tell. What you gonna bring? Here's my iPhone that I brought for show and tell. What the fuck, normie? Listen, you need to find the weirdest thing to bring for show and tell, bro. And if not weird, then something that nobody would think to bring, you know? Or maybe you want to make a statement with a show and tell.
I have brought my underwear, and you see how clean and pristine and white it is. This is symbolic, for no one will ever penetrate these underwear. It is my intention to live and die a virgin. I am sick of you people and your fraternization. I am sick of the interactions and the lovey-dovey bullshit that I see around here. You kids pulling girls' pigtails and you girls making your lists of boys that you want to kiss. You're fucking disgusting. I am here to pursue my education, and I would like it if my like-minded peers would associate themselves only with greatness and with the education and the furthering of the human race. I do not believe my fellow man in this school is represented.
And then you just start crying. Can't even finish it. They can't even get anywhere. Damn. I guess that's how it goes, huh? You know? Somebody in the back of the class. So you brought in your underwear, bro? What the fuck are you saying? You saying that you don't like pussy, bro? They're like 12 years old, and there's one jock bro, frat dude in the back. Bro, you saying you don't like puss, bro? Not cool, bro. Yo, open that window. We're throwing this table out. We're throwing this table out, bro. It's the coolest entry in this list. Sorry. Number 12. There was a girl that pretended to be a horse and make horse noises. Not like that. You could probably do better later. Let's not pursue convincing horse noises right now, okay, Kyle? Good. And she also would draw pictures of all the guys' faces in detention with their bodies as half goat and half or horse with very detailed and massive genitalia. She was a really good artist. So I'm almost aroused by this, but I'm sorry because I have a history with what many people would consider the occult. I think it's really fucking cool because it might be normal for her to be really into horses and shit like that and making horse noises. Horse girls are weird. Not a bad weird either. Horse girls are I'm sorry. That's what a horse girl will do to you. They'll fuck your mouth up. I'm just trying to think about them. But if they were drawing the people around them as like a centaur, where they're like half man, half horse, I feel like that'd be normal. But when you're putting a man's face on a goat, you know what I'm talking about? Yo, that's like one of the most disturbing types of imagery ever, is a goat with a man's face on it. And then you're also just drawing some really big dicks on there. Why not? Really well formed, detailed peepees on the man goat. just like in my dreams. Number 11. When the teacher told him to sit down, he screamed, "Fuck you, cow! Who started this cow shit in this school? Is this I Like Cows kid's fault?" Can you imagine some kid tells the teacher, "Fuck you, cow," and it gets back to the I Like Cows kid because he's in trouble now?
See, I knew it. He's just establishing a social norm at this school, and I'm sick of his bullshit. All I want to do is zoom, and the boom, boom. Fast forward 2 years and he tells everyone he's a vampire and stabs my friend with a pen to try to make him bleed. "Do you bleed? Give me your blood." He was weird, bro. Maybe he was just ahead of his time. Had Twilight come out yet? See, y'all niggas grew up after the explosion of the internet. I was in school young enough to have the social norm be to mock people who knew anything about technology, who were interested in the internet or the websites or anything computer related. You know, back when LiveJournal and Zanga and all of these weird little blog sites were taken over right before MySpace, right? And this was during the age where, okay, the cell phones come out and really all you got are Nokia bricks. And I'm gonna show you this phone because I want you to understand, you know. So you got these Nokia brick phones, and yeah, a lot of us had them. A lot of us are texting each other, and because there was only a number pad, we would have to press certain buttons multiple times to get to a letter, and then we would still text the shit out of each other, bro. After a while, I remember us getting I think it was like a Motorola Razr. Okay, so here's what a Motorola Razr looks like. Okay, nope. God, give me the traditional flip phone bullshit. Of course they got new models, but here's the old school one. It's exactly what it looked like. Came in a variety of colors. Okay, so it was like before the iPhones just took over, before Samsung took over, and then I had something called a Sidekick, which was basically like a flip phone, but it had a keyboard on there. You understand? Very cool, all right? And that, you know, it was really time to take care of business type shit. Could access the internet in a very decent way, not bad. You know what I'm talking about? Mainly for texting. But you could make some web shit happen on there. So I say that to say, you know, to watch the transformation of a bunch of normies talking shit, you know, oh, the internet's dumb, the internet's for losers, it's irrelevant, to basically like from year to year, technology creeping into every facet and every fiber of who a person is, to the point where they're spending their entire fucking life on the screen, texting in class, to the point where the teachers are like, "I will fucking murder the next person." You know, and some of the teachers would get so mad because the new devices that would come into the class would just confuse them. They'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? And some classes, I remember classes would be devoted to people just going, "No, this is like the new thing, bro. And here's what it is, and here's how it works." You know what I mean? Explaining, it was nuts. It was truly nuts. But it just went to show you, like, bro, sometimes niggas are ahead of their time. And I say that because I'm remembering the cringe of people like coming into things that they never knew anything about for the first time. I remember people sending like chain text messages that they believed in, and they were telling people about it, how like, oh, if you don't send this text, then all this stuff will happen. And they believed that like certain viruses would, it was just the stupidest fucking thing in the world. And to somebody that is tech savvy, listening to some of these people, it was a really humbling experience, bro. I remember during this tech explosion, I would think to myself, there are so many suckers. There's so many stupid people that'll just believe what they don't know anything to the contrary of. They're not fucking dumb. They're just ignorant. They don't know better. And this was the time you would see people basically becoming the new school of bullies, okay? You would see these people who had this technological knowledge, this aptitude, this like natural, you know, interest and awareness as it pertained to a lot of things tech,
who for years had effectively been bullied for this thing that they were into, and now they were the ones who knew everything, and they had the opportunity or the ability to explain to people how things really worked, but they were like, why would I do that? Y'all been spending the rest of your whole lives kicking us. So now we not only have the ability to perpetuate some of these problems and fuck some of you over and destroy some of your devices and make you unwittingly, make your problems worse, but we can also be the key to the solution of your problems. We can be the people who are going to fix things because you don't know better. And yeah, Teddy in the stream chat says the story of Bill Gates. It is how geeks like Bill Gates came to rise the fuck up. Because right now, somebody is devoted to something that everybody around them is mocking them for. But you know what? They got a bigger dick than half of the motherfuckers talking shit on them. And also, they're devoting themselves to something that they're passionate about in a capacity where, if that shit takes the fuck off, you have no idea what's going on. And you will be forced to defer to the judgment of some of these other people. And it's not just out of convenience. Oh, you got other shit going on. You're busy. You can't devote all this time to something. It's something that it will become so prevalent. It's kind of like automation in the workplace, And if you don't know what I mean when I say that, it's basically like how in time a robot's really going to take a lot of people's jobs. It's like you either get to learning how to tend to those robots right now, or you find yourself out of work. And back then, shit. You ever see so much the side of your eye and just swear that somebody is in the room? And maybe they are, and we just don't have the drugs to see them. I watch a lot of really cool shit when I'm not streaming, guys. And I have some really funny thoughts because some motherfuckers go really hard. And the government, I hate to just say the government, but certain agencies, certain groups, they do pursue certain activities that, are no different than what you would consider the foundation for the SCP fucking bastards do. They really do just do some tests. And I say that when I mean they're pursuing experiments that unfortunately could result in the loss of life, but it's also going to result in some serious information being acquired. So is it pretty much the World War II tier shit that I'm talking about, where these are inhumane experiments where people are losing their lives? Yes, but as you've seen historically, you can actually escape the fucking electric chair or whatever means of death that they would put you to if you just give your fucking findings over. That's what happened. They were like, look, you son of a bitch, we should kill you right now, but if you give us your findings, it'll be fine. Well, here you go. There it is. Take these findings, shit. And right now, behind closed doors, not only are they fucking with people to see what they're capable of and fucking with multiple people to see if it was just a fluke, but they're also enhancing their abilities, enhancing, air quotes, with the use of drugs, okay? But what I hate is that some of these drugs really immediately have what I would consider identical effects on people, in them believing that another entity is present. And you hear me say it all the time, bro. We are living pressed up against and amidst things that are completely and utterly there. We just can't see them. Whether it's us not being able, like, at nighttime we can't really see too well, but if we put on some night vision goggles, we could see some shit. There's subatomic and infinitely small and irrelevant to the naked eye type shit that is there, but we can't see it without a microscope. What if some of these drugs, unfortunately, are unlocking a certain type of perception that allows us to see some shit? And of course, I'm just, fucking rambling as it pertains to something that I saw out of the side of my eye, and it's gonna come off sounding like, well, what if drugs and there is something there and I can see it? But fuck me, man. When you read these fucking tests about people exploring that LSD, exploring that DMT, really fucking with some of these, what do you call them? Cocktails of these drugs, and eliciting identical experiments or no, identical results with these experiments, it flips me the fuck out. And the worst part is some of the declassified shit talking about some asswipe being put in a room and then like remote communicating some shit that's happening somewhere else in the world. How the fuck is that happening? You're putting some asswipe in a fucking room and then having somebody outside the room drawing something on a piece of paper and they're recreating that? How, bro? How could they know what's going on outside of the room that they're in? Come on, bro. Come on. It's like, I don't know. And logically, it's impossible. Scientifically, from what we understand at the time, it's impossible. Right now, it's impossible. But again, we go back in time, we shine a flashlight. That's magic as far as somebody's concerned, because there's no current scientific explanation for that. But what the fuck are we going to do? How are we going to explain this in the future? Nova Prime says, Kyle, have you tried Outriders crossplay today? No, I have not. And from what I understand, we're still waiting on a patch for that to be sorted out. But the patch is also going to nerf a bunch of shit. So I don't even want to think about Outriders right now. I feel like I need to seclude back in, or, you know, self-isolate, self-seclude back into the bubble of complete games. Because too many games these days are releasing and then thinking they can just patch their issues away. And I want to go back to a time when games were just fun, you know? I'd rather a game release like Animal Crossing, where there's enough there for it to just be like what it is, in the way of kind of satisfying, even if it is missing a bunch of what made the other ones so charming. But don't get me started on video games, dude. Animal Crossing, I feel like, missed some of the biggest things, and that was making the animals have more than just a couple of stupid-ass quips, making it so that I could invite the animals over to my house and they could invite me over for like a date, you know? So that if we missed that date because of something coming up in real life, we would have the sadness of, you know, feeling like we missed this little bastard's date. Even though it's a virtual person, we would still have the sadness of feeling like we let them down, or we missed this, you know, and we didn't communicate to them that we couldn't be there or something like that. I know it sounds silly because there's zeros and ones, but that's the kind of shit that brings the game to life. And all I do is tease Dia about, you know, how feeling anything for some of these video game characters is silly, but we really did strike the perfect way of forcing that kind of feeling with Animal Crossing. Because when your little stupid villager says to you, hey, come over to my house at this time, and you agree to that, and then maybe you forget, maybe you oversleep, maybe something happens because real life is crazy like that, and then when you go back, you know, you realize you've missed this date, you acted like a savage, like, you know, like a primal beast of a person by not communicating you couldn't be there. It kind of sticks with you because you don't want to really act like that. Yeah, it's a video game, but you don't really want to act like that. On top of that, back in the day in Animal Crossing, you could log in one day and a villager would just be gone. Imagine somebody that you're crazy about because you didn't pay enough attention to them, they're just gone. It forced you to play the game. And I'm not saying all games should be like that these days, but the games are becoming watered down and it hurts. Especially when you strike gold, when you capture some lightning in a bottle, why let that lightning out? And that's what happened with Animal Crossing, in my opinion, is it had a lot of charm and they watered it down, they diluted it in favor of some ass wipes, in favor of making it more accessible, and I need to just deal with that as the old man I am, bro. But I loved the idea of a fucking mole popping up out of the ground, pissed off at you and yelling in all caps, distressing, why didn't you save the fucking game before you logged out? Yeah, bro, you should have saved the game. You know, autosaves are a thing these days, so I guess there need to be a new incarnation of Rossetti. But to know that he's never going to be yelling at people because that's too scary, fuck my monkey balls. Whatever. And that little ramble, that whole rant, I guess it shows you that I'm the weirdest kid in the school of YouTube. Whatever. Mighty Quinn says, some DMT shows most geometry of the world, others show the prism broken into colors. I used to joke that TV was never in black and white. They just hadn't handed out the LSD yet. You know what I mean? Oh, that's so stupid as an observation, but come on. William says, I believe it. So many people have personal experiences when it comes to things like drug-induced astral projection, where they encounter other beings and it's creepy as fuck. Yep. And I wish we could explore that shit. I wish more than anything we could somehow attach a camera to a person's consciousness and see what the hell they see where they go, feel what they feel. You know, y'all scientist bastards been hooking up electrodes and shit like that to people's brains for how long, and y'all can't really, I don't know. I don't want to say we should get in the brain and see what they see, but that'll be the day when we can follow a motherfucker into their dreams. Y'all want to know some of the hottest movies ever motherfucking made, son? Y'all want to know some of the hottest movies ever fucking made? I'm gonna say this to you very carefully. It's Paprika and Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue obviously is my favorite. Perfect Blue is probably my favorite anime movie that's ever been made. Ever been made. Do not watch that sober. Get you some weed and watch Perfect Blue. And I'm not going to jack off Satoshi Kon, who is one of my favorite directors, but Perfect Blue, and to a limited degree Paprika, but more because like I like the concept of Paprika, a device where you're getting into people's brains or their dreams and everything just going wrong. Perfect Blue is a fucking nightmare. I have experienced things where I can only refer to it as an assault on the senses, but Perfect Blue fucks you up in the perfect way. Because, bro, as a person who considers themselves constantly in control as far as their perception, as far as their understanding or comprehension of a situation, you feeling like you're always going to have that grip on reality, on, you know, the structure of something. You're always going to be self-aware of where you are and what you're watching in a narrative and what potentially may be happening. You're not even expecting anything, so there's no expectations to subvert. But to feel like you know what you're watching at all times is a luxury that we take for granted, and we only ever see it so masterfully fucked with in a movie like Perfect Blue, bro. And it's pathetic. Because as a medium, anime is dogged on, bro. But you know niggas haven't watched shit like this. You know they haven't when they got shit to say. And I can only name a few instances in film where I have cinematically been taken for a ride and felt like just a fuckboy in a damn roller coaster seat where it's like, I am at your whim now. I am at the whim of the author who, you know, has crafted this, and the direction of the people involved that have brought it to you in a very specific visual way. Cinematography is a hell of a thing, but when you're animating, you can make people see exactly what you want them to see, bro. Get high and watch Perfect Blue. That is the biggest suggestion I'll ever make to you. And then I want you to come back and talk to me about it. I got a Discord. And I want you to talk my ear off about it. I love you. Don't go watch a YouTube video on it, dude. You gotta trust me. Watch this motherfucking movie from the beginning. And then go. And by the end of it, you'll be like, okay, man. Okay. What? Okay, bro. What? Okay. Or yeah, sure. Number 10. One kid once went for a poop. What an entry, ladies and gentlemen. What an entry. True Silver says, did you check the Discord yet, Kyle? Let's get into the Discord and see what horrors await me. Here I am. Oh, True Silver wanted. Wait a minute. You became the new stream boss? How was I not aware of that? I'm not manner of a cocksucker. Damn, my man, True Silver. You are in fact the stream boss. I was not paying attention. I must have been, you know, in the midst of my own farts. The fumes must have been so delightful that I couldn't get anywhere. So thank you. True Silver Wolf, you're the stream boss now. Yeah. May your reign last 1,000 years. Looks like you've got a sexy little Lupin the Third gif here. Again, a lot of people were crazy in the past lists. And what I wanted is to give them all a gif, you know? So Bradley, if you're listening, YNK, Chase, Gajeel, Dave, Jesus, if you guys want gifs, I have no problem filling up the whole bottom of the screen and just making people watching this go, what the fuck is all of this? Just so busy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna put Lupin right next to my bits or little things that fill up the jar, so it seems like he's stealing portions of them. Typical. Honk honk. As we continue with this entry, this one kid once went for a poop. He collected it in a bottle, put milk on it. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm inclined to upvote this. Take my upvote. Okay. I haven't had the funny smacked out of my mouth like this in a while. So for anybody who is listening, forgive me for just stopping mid-delivery. I'm going to read the entry and then I'm going to react to it. This one kid went for a poop. He collected the poop in a bottle, put milk on it, went back into the classroom with his bottle of cocoa, and he then proceeded to offer it to others, also to the teacher. He is a senior physician now. Being weird did not harm him. Jesus did say he wanted the Destiny Ghost. It is now your obligation to find this ghost. You've had this computer for a great many years now. It exists somewhere. Where, I'm not sure. Whoa, a titties gif. Is this like the titties aren't exposed? They are exposed. Oh, those are some nice nipples too. Delete that gif before you think it's something else in the future. It's a great gift, but you gotta go. We can't take chances like that, boy. Fuck a doodle doo. If you put it in the downloads folder, it's been compromised, you idiot. Stop keeping things in there. Oh, it's gone. It's most certainly gone. Jesus Christ. Maybe I've had a conversation with this guy in the past. Oh, good luck scrolling through these Discord messages, you fucking wanker. Maybe I can just Google it. Destiny Ghost GIF. It was a really high resolution GIF. Really high res stuff. Oh, actually it seems to be very popular because I found it. Good. So let me just drag that into OBS. Drag and drop. And we can even float that up here. We'll all float on. Or we all float down here. There's a Modest Mouse reference for you, as well as a terrible, Stephen King It reference, if that's what you're into. Does anybody have an irrational devotion to Modest Mouse or Stephen King? You know? Does anybody read Stephen King in a capacity where you think that, you have a favorite book of theirs that you want to let us know about? I drove my car into a cop car the other day. Well, he just moved on, sometimes life's okay. Oh my God. I ran my mouth off a bit, oh, what do I say? Sasuke says Castle Rock. I love you, subscribers. I just want to know what you're into, what it's all about. Castle Rock has been adapted into a TV show. Congratulations. Stephen King made it, boy. Any and everything that he has farted out, everybody's like, all right, look, we got to do that next. We got to do that next. It's going to be the next It. It's not going to be the next It. We got to do it. Who wrote Misery? Who wrote Misery? Who wrote Misery? Misery is a 1990 film. Based on Misery by Stephen King. Stephen King wrote Misery. We can't even say it's just it, bro. Everything. You gotta wonder though. If it weren't for Kathy Bates, would that movie have been fucking terrifying and outrageous like it is? Ain't nobody trying to readapt Misery because we already know nobody's gonna do a better job. Holy shit, boy. And isn't it like a very modern story? I don't think there's anything socially more sexy, more genuinely sexually arousing to me than how the line for people that enjoy something doesn't exist as far as their humanity is concerned. When they are a fan of something, they're not a human anymore, you know? And I always love to bring up Britney Spears because it's like people don't look at that bitch and regard her as a human who is a dancer or a singer or a performer. She is their puppet. And when when Britney doesn't do what they want them to do, they're gonna be savage as fuck. Look at that bitch. Oh, she's getting fat. Oh, she's shaving her hair bald. She just wants fucking attention, that dirty whore. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me because as soon as somebody becomes somebody that's in the public eye, the humanity falls away, bro. And whereas critiquing their music, critiquing their portrayal or acting in a movie, I believe all of that shit is completely and utterly fine. Their performance as an actor should be scrutinized. Their performance as a vocalist or a musical artist or whatever they are should be scrutinized, but you can't be attacking the person, bro. And when somebody, puts on some weight or has some shit going on, nigga, I'm in love with bringing up motherfucking Chadwick Boseman, who people were savage with, bro, implying this nigga need to grab a burger. You know what I'm talking about? This bitch was dying, homie. And you wouldn't know that because not everybody trying to live getting attention for everything like that. But that line doesn't exist for people who are fans of something. So this movie Misery, for people who don't know, is about a crazy fan who captures an author and gets mad about some shit not going the way she wanted it to in the fucking story. Why hasn't Misery been adapted 1,000 more times? And I'm sure they probably attempted it, but it will never be as good because Kathy Bates made this movie, son. Her performance as the fanatic, as the fan, as the crazy fan that needs things to go a certain way. And the wild part is, the reason that I consider it so great a story is because that's happening right now. Everybody considers themselves passionate or a big enough fan of something to be a little bit weird, be a little bit nerdy, get a little bit cringe about it, passionate when they're talking about it. Some people go to the next level. And when it comes to the people who are creating this thing, they have borderline demands about what they expect of this thing. And if you don't give them what they want, then they're coming for you because you don't deserve this material. I don't care if you're the author of it. It should go this way. That's fucking cool, bro. That's fucking cool, bro. It's what I call right now, anyway, as it pertains to, things right now, it's what I call a timeless story. Timeless. The Mist Institute, Mighty Quinn says Christine was awesome, Pet Cemetery. It's crazy. Yeah. That son of a bitch. God bless Stephen King, I guess. And he was weird too. He was weird. He was weird. People roast how weird this dude is. He got some real weird passages in them stories. He had to pull some of them stories because they inspired too many people to do some really extracurricular things. Damn, baby, what you mean you trying to relieve people of life from their body hole? And I was inspired by the Stephen King book. And he was like, oh no. What's the name of that book? What's the name of the Stephen King book? Stephen King removes book. Rage. What is this? It was called Rage? Was that the one? School shootings drove Stephen King to take Rage off of shelves. Holy shit, boy. This guy is it, son. Stephen King is not an author, he's the author, where you gotta take this shit into your own hands, I bet you they trying to shut this motherfucker down through the years because he just wrote some stories and people decided they gonna jump up and be crazy. So now you're at fault. Oh, because this book made you do it. Get the fuck out of here, dude. It's fiction. It's fiction. It's a bit of, it's a made up narrative. Pass the time. Read this thing. Yeah, it's good. Art imitates life. Life imitates art. Whoa. You're gonna do what? Because of a book you read? What were you doing in school? Hooping in a fucking bottle and putting some milk on top of that? But it's okay because he grew up to become a physician. It's just another experiment. What is life but just a series of experiments? I really do love you. I hope that you guys are staying perky. That's right, it's big titty time. Before people think that I sold out, gone full corporate. Nah, son. You need to soap up them titties. Oh, there go Hilda.
Hi, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. I didn't think I was going to be able to come here today because I'm washing all my clothes, so I have nothing to wear, but I'll just be naked in here. I hope nobody sees me. Oh, I keep forgetting to put tape on my webcam camera. I hope nobody hacks my computer. God, my boobs are so big. I can't even cross my arms properly. What am I supposed to do?
This isn't about Hilda anymore. It's kind of like a Kyle thing. Why did you say stop, Hilda? Tell me please. Tell me please. Dude, what if it's true? What if it's all true, the things that I said, and it made her explosively serious, and she was like, she's looking around. I'm Stephen King now. In a Lifetime original movie. People don't remember what Lifetime is, bro. Please. Okay. As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 9. Impressively, this weird kid imitated a barking dog. He did it really well. Sounded like a dog with a deep, fierce bark. Not like any middle school student. Maybe he wasn't imitating it. Maybe he was conjuring that sound from within him. All hope is lost says cocaine was his muse at the time. I'm so fucking mad. I'm so fucking mad. I'm so fucking mad because I feel like we all should be able to take a month out of our lives and go somewhere. Maybe we should all be able to just go to California because they really seem to be legalizing everything real fast. I heard some kind of psychedelics were about to be legalized out there. We should all just be able to go somewhere and do some fucking hard drugs. You know what I mean? And just see where the creativity leads us, whether we're going to write something, whether we're going to try to sing some shit. You know what I mean? Create some kind of ridiculous series, come up with a screenplay for something. You know what I'm talking about? And when we come down, we can take a look, we can look it over, we can establish some different drafts, maybe get some hands on deck and see where to go with there. Maybe we get high with other people and try to mix something up. You know what I mean? But it sucks because nobody can deny that some of the greatest and most timeless shit was mixed up when they got a little bit crazy. Man, y'all ever really listen to the Beatles, man? It's so clear when the drugs were inspiring the Beatles. Motherfucker, that was a shift. Singing with some dudes in harmony is one thing. That's just going to sound nice. It's going to sound crisp. It's going to sound, oh, listen to that melody. But wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute. When them drugs kicked in? When you knew they were doing some real shit? God damn. And that's what pisses me off, bro. I don't mean to be an old man, but as a musician, even if you're not musically inclined, you can listen to some of these 80s songs, stack that next to the bullshit that's on the radio these days, stack that, and that's why we see a lot of that shit coming back on TikTok, which is the coolest part, is that music, it's not a song. It's not a song that you're meant to sing along to, formulaic verse, chorus, verse, you know what I mean? It's just like, Jesus Christ, all of this shit is so formulaic. You could probably sing along to it in your sleep. You could guess where the song's going to go. You can guess what chords are going to be laid out and then repeated until this song reaches its fucking completion. But the music that clowns were making back then, with a little bit of drugs for inspiration, that's like nothing you've ever fucking heard before or since. And I think it's problematic, man. Why have we become so... I don't know. I think music was one of the few things that we could like, and I'm not saying that good music isn't getting made anymore. I'm just old manning at the fact that bad music is forever and will forever seem to be the popular shit. But maybe now that we're drifting away from radio and TV, where some of these assholes are deciding what's popular for us, bro. You know what I mean? We can get back to some of that good shit because we want music, not songs, bro. Songs are great. They're like condensed little ditties that you're meant to sing along to and shit. But when you got the formula for a hit song and you're following that formula to a T, Jesus Christ. Fuck that. I'm trying to hear somebody literally go through something, you know? Some people have like a breakdown on an instrument vocally. Some people have a fucking meltdown, go through this crisis, you know? Because I don't want to hear, oh, I was struggling with my addiction and I was going through withdrawals and I just broke up with my partner and that's what, you know what I mean? I want to feel that shit in the music. I want to feel like this is a note that you were writing to your past self, to your future self in your music. Bleed into that shit, dude. I want it to feel like blood. I want it to feel like a piece of you carved out musically. That's what I get from a lot of these other songs. What am I talking about right now? I am such a weird kid in the context of this list. As we continue up the things the weird kid did at school, of course you used a picture of a furry Kyle. Somebody's gonna at you about that bullshit. Right in my balls, and I'll flop my balls right on my phone and let it do the texting. Shut up. Number 8. This kid ran out of class and I guess attempted to leave school or something. A bunch of teachers chased him. I could hear well, yeah, was this an insane asylum? You know, my school was kind of like a Star Trek ship where it's like we just operate on the honor system. Don't do it. You know, don't leave, man. You can leave if you want to, but you're supposed to be here. So, I mean, act right. Number 8, the dude ran out of class and a bunch of teachers just got him. They just chased him. I could hear him running out into the halls and the teachers asking where he went. The door to the class was closed, but there was a window. Quite a bit later, I look up and I see him at the little window, and he just looked at us and licks the window and runs away again. And then I see a couple of teachers run after. Oh, okay. Okay, bro. Tyler Carson said a lot of music back then was just raw emotion. I'm sure this music's getting made right now. Occasionally we come across some of it, you know what I mean? But not only is so much of it forgettable that floats to the surface for some reason, but you really don't feel anything because it's like they were just trying to make another hit as opposed to making something special or significant to them, you know? I always bring this up that Bowie said to people that somebody told him that his music sounded like what a human might make to try to communicate with aliens. And just hearing that makes me so jealous. That's like the greatest compliment I think anyone can ever be paid as it pertains to their music. Like when you're making that music and it doesn't sound like it's for other people. Ugh, so jealous. I want somebody to say that to me about something I make one day. What the fuck? What is this not for us? I don't think it's for anybody. Yes. Wow, man, that's some cool shit right there, bro. Rock. What the fuck? Okay. All Hope Is Lost says it's only when drugs and alcohol drag them close to hell do they produce heaven artistically. Well, bro. Well, Malachi says I gotta plug you to my classics playlist. Oh, man. Let's continue. Okay, number 7. Wow. How do I take so long to get through these lists? We've been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes. What's my problem? What is your problem, Kyle? Son of a bitch. Number 7. He drove around the basketball courts following the lines on an imaginary bus. So he just had his hands in front of him, he was walking around, but he was really driving. You know what I mean? He'd stop to let people get on or off the bus and then drive them to their stops. We would walk in a line behind him. Everybody's having fun. Why is he weird for that? That was awesome. This is awesome. Can you imagine? I think if someone did this. I saw an animation recently where like a woman had her bags and she was like running out to a bus stop. It was a really, really quick short. It complemented a bunch of other shorts, and it was meant to just display like frustration and people reaching their limit. You know, a bunch of people were punching people, throwing things out of the window, jumping on other people, and all kinds of bullshit. It was just the kind of like daily scenes that you would see anywhere, but one person in the scene would snap and just do like the worst thing that they could do, like they push some people down the stairs or some shit like this. But one of the shorts was a woman with her bags kind of like, hustling to get to a bus stop, but it was right as the bus was pulling off, and you can see like her slouch, and she's just like, Jesus Christ. And then she puts her bags down and she just lays flat on the ground looking up at the sky. And then the two people in the background of the scene, they're like looking at each other. And then one of them lays down flat on his back next to her. And I'm like, oh my God, I just love that. The connection of like, fuck, I'm tired. Like, I can't even do any of this anymore. And the idea that somebody kind of pulls up, they walk up to you clearly doing like a bus thing. Maybe they even make the noise of the exhaust with a bus, like, like the brakes or whatever on the bus. And then you're just like, yeah, I'll get on that shit. Let's do it. We would walk behind him in a line. I fucking love it. When he stopped walking, he would mimic the door opening and closing and wouldn't let you on or off if you didn't wait for the signal. Salutations, Ben, the bus driver. I hope you achieved your dreams. I hope so too. I hope so too. Sorry for the spoiler for Doctor Who, but there's an episode called I think it's The Doctor's Wife, and I think that may have also been a fan episode, which is awesome, but the TARDIS is placed, or the consciousness of the TARDIS is thrown into a human form, and she articulates to the Doctor that the noise that the TARDIS makes is because he drives it around with the brakes on. So one of the most iconic noises for that fucking box, that I can't do the tortoise noise. It's TARDIS. Oh man, I'm just gonna look it up in case people don't know what the TARDIS sounds like. TARDIS noise. You remember when Doctor Who was good? You remember when Doctor Who wasn't good? No, give me the... It's like this weird kind of whooshing. It's very iconic, bro. Jesus Christ, sounds scary as fuck. Too loud, forgive me. But yeah, in that episode, when the TARDIS has a voice, she communicates to him, hey, you driving around with the brakes on, bitch. The fuck is wrong with you? Wait, was that River Song? River Song may have said that to him. That you drive it with the brakes on. Ironically, the real Doctor's wife. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my God. Ninja says, your videos are not for shills, Kyle. Well, of course they're not. Defenders can't get down on my videos. But I'm not making it for them. I'm making it for the people, who are reasonable, who are realistic, who perhaps do not have a voice because a lot of other people are so worried about how they come off so that they can secure access. If I could be flown out to some event that some assholes would be holding, I'd rather saw my fucking foot off than be the squeaky clean son of a bitch, corporate ass, staff speaking bastard that I would need to be, so that I don't get knocked off of the list of people that are included. Suck my fucking balls. I would rather be real and represent a lot. Dude, today when that shit with Outriders happened, it really filled me with a lot of like hope that in the comment section of many of those, because I was reading it like live as that developer thing dropped, and yo, the comment section was really just filled with some of the most incredible feedback from, you know, respectful but rightfully upset people. Somebody saying, first of all, there's no love for the Devastator? You just nerfed the other 3 classes? Why? Why, instead of pleasing people by buffing, would you nerf 75% of your characters, removing guaranteed legendaries from hunts and historian quests because of an exploit? This means that there are no more guaranteed ways to farm legendaries. RNG is king. Hey, look, it's not like, again, a lot of us don't get it, but there's a way to go about things, and this is the wrong first foot to go off on. You know what I mean? And anybody will tell you this. Any book that you can look up on anything will tell you to perhaps sandwich a bad thing between some good things, even if those good things aren't the greatest. But if I come and punch you in the face, it sucks. But if I come and I give you a hug, and then I give you a punch in the face, and then maybe I give you a kiss, not as bad. You know, you can probably get a little bit. You can be like, oh, you know, is this how you play? No, it's not how I play. Hug, punch, kiss. Sounds like a song on my new album. Damn, all hope is lost. I appreciate this sponsorship. That's pretty hardcore of you. And I'm expecting to be cut off by a notification, but it doesn't seem to.
Slap it on some toes.
There it is. Thank you, man. It's pretty hardcore. It's ironic because you may be showing me that all hope is not lost. Did anyone expect me to make that joke? Sometimes I like to, subvert expectations by doing exactly the type of thing that people expect me to, you know? Sapphire says, Akis. Is that what you want, Sapphire, on your boob? But not the boob you're thinking of. The phantom boob. Did you guys know that all girls have a third phantom boob? But you have to be high to see it. High on what, though? That's the question as we continue up the list of things the weird kid did at school. Number 6. She wrote a list of all the girls and boys that she wanted to kiss and murder, and then casually passed it out on the playground. Did she specify who was who, or were we meant to guess? Did she put a column and then put people on 2 lists? Like on 2 sides of the column, so there's 2 lists, but we don't know who is who?
Megan, what is this list? You see, they're the kids that I want to kill. Or kiss. Kill or kiss. The anime. Who is who? Who is who?
And then they all line up and go,
Are we the kissables or the killables?
shit, those are kick-ass names for fucking groups. Kissables and killables. Those are rival gangs in a school, and it makes you just want to go back to school just so you can establish these 2 gangs. Kyle, the leader of the killables. Fuck me. Yeah. You damn right I want to be in the killables. Whoa. That sounds so cool. Malachi says, I'm convinced Kyle was the weird kill. What in God's name would make you think that I'm weird? I'm putting my pants right back on right now. You son of a bitch. Number 5. One girl used to run and gallop around. Hey, man. Hey, y'all want to talk about weird? I just unlocked a memory. Ooh, I unlocked a memory I used to keep in the box. Oh my God. I wanted like a sideways. Okay, I wanted like a sideways look at how he walks. I wouldn't do this at school. No, that's not how he walked. It was weirder. Listen, Jar Jar Binks had this really awkward walk. What the hell is all of these are fucking memes. We can't even find any, like, I just wanted a animation of Jar Jar walking, but I used to have this really weird walk that I would do when I was at home, and it was that bad where even though I didn't do it in public, it was something that I never wanted anybody to ever see. Pretty bad. So as we continue, number 5, one girl used to run and gallop around the playground on her own, pretending that she was a horse. This is at too old of an age for the rest of us to be doing this, 14, 15. So do you mean on all fours or some shit? She got a medicine degree and is doing her surgical training at the moment. I bumped into her in a hospital after over a decade, and all I could think of to say was, do you still love horses? She laughed and said that she had her own horse now. Figures. Well, some people got it going on, baby. You know, let them do their thing. Oh, man. Oh, damn. Oh, Lord. Number 4. In 4th grade, one kid got so angry at something, maybe the work that we were doing, he gripped his pencil so hard, he started yelling and moaning, and stuck the sharp end of the pencil square into his forehead. You know, why do people need to involve everybody else in their sexual deviancy? We're just trying to go to class, bro. What do you mean yelling and moaning before you shoved a pencil in your forehead? Somebody says what too much math does to a motherfucker. Too much math, man. I'm sick of this math. Like a sensual saying, you know, Dragon Ball weird. Yaw, dragon. Weird the dragon. You call Shenron and he's like, oh God, not you again. Shenron, I'd like to be able to fit anything in my butt. Anything. Do you even know what that means, mortal? I'm so sick of this bullshit. Stop assembling my Dragon Balls. I will kill the Namekian myself. Shenron! Everything up my butt, including you! Fuck that. I'm out of here, bitches, you fucker. You make Shenron talk like that, you know you're in trouble. You Dragon Ball Z references. Number 3, man. Weird kid in elementary was a self-proclaimed alien. Cool. Once, while waiting for the bus, she told me, on my planet, we eat people like you. And proceeded to bite me. We later became friends in high school, and she used to give me massages during lunch break in the quad. Just realized now that she was likely tenderizing me. She sounds like a great person, but clearly they were into you, man. Biting you, massaging you. On my planet, people like you take off their clothes around people like me. It's not weird. It's just an alien thing that happens. What the fuck? Why did Spain ban Dragon Ball from airing? Was it because of too much pervy stuff from the Kael character, otherwise known as Master Roshi? Sapphire says, fun fact, as a kid I always pictured that Dragon Ball Z was completely written and animated by black people. I don't know, it just made sense in my head. Well, because it was so cool? Because it was so fucking cool, is that what you think? Black people had to be involved, so cool? Man, what I love is how a lot of anime and cartoons and shit like that, people just didn't associate with black people, but what they didn't understand is black nerds are some of the hardest nerds out there, bro. Like, to crack, to figure out. Like, I'm super into Star Trek, and The Next Generation is probably like one of my favorite shows of all time. It's a comfort show, takes me to another place. It's everything that I enjoy, you know. Can't get enough of shit like Dragon Ball Z. I was one of these cats that watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and thought that was like the coolest shit in the world. You really want to see some black people freak out? Look up black dudes that are really into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because of course that shit is cool, you know? And I can't imagine, you know, a lot of people thinking that they just don't understand these rigid, coarse, scary, violent, dangerous black men. And then some dude walks down the street and he's dressed up like the Red Power Ranger, and everybody's like, oh shit, son! Damn, do that pose. And then the guy's like, it's morphin time. And they're like, oh my God, son. Oh, that shit was cool, son. Can I take a picture with you? You know what I mean? What do you want from us? Stop trying to figure out black people, man. They're just like you and me. We're all awful in different ways. We're all terrible. Look, it's President Joe Biden. He says, you don't want to fight a black nerd. I saw this one fight where this dude drop kicked a dude, headbutted him, and then stapled him. Here comes the stapler. That's an old video. I've watched that on stream like 7 times. That's one of my favorite videos. Here comes the stapler. It can't be the same video. Drop kick and a headbutt. Rusty Shackelford says, I'm a black guy into Power Rangers. I thought Rusty Shackelford had the body of a hot, sexy, big titty VTube girl. Why, you're telling me you're a black man now? You can't transition so fast. Jeez, man, you gotta give it time. So you gotta give it time. Slowly transition. Bring it around town. Touch me harder. As we continue to number 2, a wild kid activated a fire hose and started blasting everyone that came his way. Students, teachers, didn't matter. What's with the phrasing of this one? He started blasting everyone that came his way. Students, teachers, didn't matter. He was just blasting them. It's a wild hose. Where did he get a hose? A fire hose. Like that thing should ever be left out near a school? Surely that's something that should not have even been set up, bro. Like, kids gonna be able to walk by that bitch and be like, well, what do we have here? I shouldn't touch that. What? No. Oh my God. True Silver Wolf says something about the splash zone. Well, I guess all of you guys have put me in the splash zone. Ew. And it's too loud too. It was like ear piercing. Somebody's gonna be mad about that. I apologize. You know, I love you. You know, I appreciate you. I'm sorry about the noise. And I hope you can forgive me, you know? You'll be free after this last entry on this list. Number 1. A kid I grew up with started swearing or wearing homemade chainmail to school our freshman year of high school. He would do this every day for 4 years. Homemade chainmail. He was already pretty odd, but he was nice enough. Plus, we had a few classes together through school, and we had connected over a shared love of a few video games. That's the best way to connect to people. You're telling me you like this bullshit Yu-Gi-Oh game too? Yeah, I do. Wow. I guess we're friends now.
Yeah, it's us against the world.
So I felt comfortable asking him why he started wearing it all of a sudden. He proceeded to explain the defensive benefits of chainmail versus both sharp and blunt instruments of harm for like 5 solid minutes. Daggers, pikes, hammers, even how curved blades like katanas and falchions? Falchions? Falchions. Why don't you show me what the fuck a falchion is? I'm just gonna forget it later. Sounds like a word I can get in trouble for using. Falchion. Nope, I don't need pronunciation in it now. Falchion. Falchion seems to just be some sort of cutlass slash cleaver slash machete. Machete. Falchion. Look at the end of that one. Strange. Okay, bro, you know. These seem to be cleavers, though. Whatever. I basically just shrugged at him and told him, okay, it makes sense, bro. And we both went to our classes. I don't know what I expected, and I guess it wasn't the best, or it wasn't the basic. I don't know what I expected, but I guess it wasn't the basic defensive benefits that the armor offered. Okay, that's the end of that entry. I'm not sure that the list ended as spectacularly as I might have imagined, but sometimes you learn in real life that, you know, sometimes the thing that gets upvoted the most is whatever was there first. Here's somebody in Outrider saying, me playing a Devastator solo in Expeditions. Oh boy. Are people thinking that there's like a way that you're really gonna be seeing Miss Marvel? Oh, sorry, it's Kamala Khan. You know, here's why I'm a son of a bitch, okay? When I see Miss Marvel, I think Carol Danvers. In her, you know, in this outfit. I fucking love her in this outfit. You know, genuine Coomer for Carol Danvers in this outfit. Can't get enough. And it's a real shame that that's simply not who Miss Marvel is anymore. And it's really fucking weird to me, dude. And I understand that you want to do this kind of passing shit on kind of crap, but I don't like when heroes have the same name as the other heroes. What the fuck is that? Let Kate Bishop be Kate Bishop. Why she gotta be Hawkeye? Hawkeye exists, nigga. You know? I don't know. Like, Captain America was Captain America. Somebody wanted to pick up that mantle. You need to call yourself something different. Damn, honey. Well, that's a small fucking picture. Wait, no, it probably gets bigger. That's what she said. I don't know how I feel about the mask, but everything else is delish. Whatever. Joe Biden says, I liked Shazam more than Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is hands down one of the worst fucking Marvel movies ever made. And I'm including Thor: The Dark World. You know, so as crazy as that is, it's the truth. I think that's genuinely one of the worst fucking Marvel movies ever made. And of course it was. With the charisma vacuum Brie Larson at the fucking helm. What I'll never understand in 1,000 years is how Brie Larson actually contributed to the role in she played in Scott Pilgrim, you know, but she sucks. She sucks now. She sucked in the Marvel movies at the very least. I can't speak to her and whatever else she's acted in because I haven't seen it. But holy shit, man. Holy shit, does it suck. So yeah, forgive me whenever I see, that's what I think. I feel like I want to go verse myself in some Stephen King shit. I'm probably going to go watch some Watch Mojo lists. Just kidding. Some kind of top 10 list of like the greatest Stephen King adaptations or whatever, because that guy probably has had the biggest repertoire, what do we call it? Like a collection or whatever of things to harvest in the way of stuff that he's made. I do love you guys to death. I hope you had a fun day, a great, you know, I hope the stream today was amusing as well. But otherwise, what I want you all to do is feel as beautiful as I do. In here. Not saying that you don't feel beautiful. I'm just saying that that's what I want of you. That's what I want for you. Is there anything that you guys want or need? The Discord link is down there. You know. Damn, Mandia is going to town. She's showing that sleep who's boss. You guys will catch me soon. I'll come back with some Mario Kart or some kind of new game. I tried to play, oh boy, I hope Premortem isn't mad. I tried to play Untitled Goose Game, and I say tried to play, I beat it, shit. But I really did have myself a little explosion somewhere in the midst of that. Fucking, let me see if I can even access it, bro. Because I was not cool. That was not cool. It's right here. Excellent. Excellent. It's funny because the last time that I tried to open this, it didn't have the whole stream. Like, I guess like because it only saved like 2 hours or so, and you have to wait sometimes for the rest of it to accompany. But I got really fucking stupid at one point with some dude. It did not appear that the crate would allow for me to move it. But yeah, look at me figuring all of this shit out. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Factor of like a split second. Did I do things it? Make things. Okay, I did. Wait, whoa. Gone forever. Okay, so he's over there, and I need to get the bucket to fall on his head. But I think this woman was chasing me out. Lady, I'm in the middle of something. I'm in the middle of something. Bitch. Serious goose business. Fucking Kyle, dude. God. Oh my! It was supposed. Fuck! It was supposed to land. You. It was supposed to land. Turning this game off now, bro. I don't have all the time in the world. I was genuinely for all of this bullshit to get in my way. I was genuinely about to Premortem, I love you. I picked the. Thank God I put another fucking tomato back there, because if I hadn't done that, all of this bullshit would have been for nothing. I'm sorry. Okay. For anybody who was watching that stream, I apologize. Okay. Because maybe you'd fallen asleep. Maybe it was like really easy going up until that point, and I lost my shit because it seemed like there were too many variables on the board, and that bitch was really like. The weird part is, even though I was furious with her coming out at me, if she hadn't gone back down there to reset the bucket, I wouldn't have been able to knock it down on his head again. But if I hadn't been smart enough to, in anticipation of this not giving me enough time, put multiple tomatoes on the ground, son, then he wouldn't have been, going back to that crate and putting himself in the position. I love the crafting of that puzzle, so to speak, but fuck my balls, man. It was too much, and I didn't appreciate it. Mighty Quinn says that was the best. Makes me want to go donate plasma to get money for a donation. What the fuck? Oh man, rare footage of Kyle angry. Rare? Oh my gosh, no, not rare. Damn, Dia. All right, let me get out of here, cause she out here I'm about to lose myself. I'm about to, wow. It's all gonna be just snore noises. Later, love you, sorry, take it easy, bye. Wait. But before I go, I should give a special thanks to the sponsors, to the patrons, to the snores, and specifically to Scrotum, or I should call you Scrotus Maximus, thanking the Scrotum, forgive me. Special thanks to True Silver. Special thanks to Lesnar Crep and to Lone Bit. Thank you this day. You guys are pretty gangster. Pretty amazing. Bye.